Now let's go over a more difficult problem. We have 5x squared minus 3x minus 2. Notice that in this problem, our coefficient of x squared is not 1. It's a number greater than 1. So we cannot use a straightforward factorization. In this case, we're going to go through some steps which requires trial and error. And we're going to see which one works. So let's go step by step. The first thing, focus on the first term and the last term. We have 5x squared and negative 2. Okay? Now, let's get to factors that multiply equals 5x squared. And for 5, the only two numbers that multiply that give us 5, it's 5 and 1, correct? Yes, good. But I need x, right? Don't forget the x. Because 5x multiplied by 1x gives me 5x squared. Now, let's go to the other end here, into negative 2. We need two numbers that multiplied equals negative 2. And of course, for 2, the only two numbers are 1 and 2. But notice here, I need a negative 2 as my final result. And 1 times 2 gives me positive. That means that one of them has to be negative, okay? For our next step, you have to decide first which one to be negative, okay? If, for example, if I put 1 as a negative, let's see if we get our final solution. Now, the next step is we're gonna do a cross multiplication. We're gonna multiply 5x multiplied by 2. Let's say give us 10x, right? 5x times 2 give us 10x. And 1x multiplied by negative 1 give us negative 1x. If I combine these two results, I'm supposed to get my middle term. Notice that in this case, we don't get it, right? So we have to do a different approach. By a different approach, I mean that we can play around with the numbers and the sign. That means that I could put the 2 here and put the negative 1 here and see if that works. Because these two don't work as we already tested. Okay, so let me scratch them out. These don't work. Now, let me use the same numbers, but let's put 2 here and let's put a 1 here. Okay, still, notice still, that 2 times 1 gives me 2, but I need one of them to be negative, right? Let's see if I put still the 1 as a negative. The 2 times negative 1 still gives me negative 2. Now let's do the same cross multiplication. So I'm going to have 5x times negative 1. That gives me minus 5x. And 1x times positive 2. That gives me 2x. Now notice, if I combine these two, notice that this 2x is automatically positive, okay? So I'm going to have negative 5x plus 2x. Remember, a negative and a positive, you subtract and keep the sign of the highest number. So if I subtract 5 minus 2, that gives me 3x. And since 5 is higher and it's negative, my final answer will be negative. Now notice, negative 3 here, negative 3x here. Both solutions matches, right? So we are basically done. But in this case, my solution, it's not gonna be cross multiplied. My factorization will be straight forward, okay? 5x, notice this 2 is positive. So it's gonna be 5x plus 2 multiplied by my other solution. It's gonna be 1x, or simply x. Notice 1 is negative, right? So I'm gonna put minus 1. And that's gonna be our factorization. So remember, it's just a matter of playing around with the numbers. The numbers, you could move them or you could change the sign, okay?